Shut up and sit down.
All right, welcome to Chick Chat Comedy Podcast. I am Patty Roswer. I'm your host. Carrie Carafas is off today. She is sick with a sore throat and other things that are wrong with her. But thank God we're here live from the comic strip. Let me just say that. Live from the comic strip. Adam's on sound. And I am here with someone, and I am going to say this, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. Adam, have I ever said this about someone before?
Never.
Wait till I say it. Danny Cohen, brilliant. The brilliant, I think you're brilliant. Brilliant Danny Cohen.
You. That's
I'm not
very
kidding.
Sweet.
I look at your posts on Facebook. I'm jealous.
Really?
I look at you.
Really?
No, I swear to God.
That's amazing.
I'm very jealous.
Thank you.
I want to be
know
as
what that
funny
means.
as you. I want to
Really?
be, yes.
It's nice, hearing compliments from another comic is amazing, and you're an amazing comic, so it's nice. I take it. It's great.
And
I'll take it.
You know what's funny about you? Also, the people who talk about you that think you are so funny, they run the gamut. Like, I was just talking to Robin Fox when I saw her just last week, and she's like, oh, Danny Cohen's like the funniest thing. And then you see Ryan Maher, who's like the opposite. I mean, they couldn't be politically 100% opposite.
I didn't know you know Ryan Maher?
Ryan Maher is insane.
Yeah.
He's an insane Republican, but I like Ryan Maher.
Yeah.
But his politics, I can't stand it.
Right.
But he loves you.
Yeah.
Joey Cola, like you what do you call that crossover? Politically, you cross over like
No
when black
pun
people
intended,
would
right.
do crossover with the whites and the black audiences. You do crossover politically, like I can't even believe it. But
That's
I
fun.
think that you're brilliant, and
Thank you.
We're going to find out about the Danny Cohen experience. But first, may I just
Do your
something
thing.
that no, it's just usually we talk about Carrie will usually talk about something that happened that week. I have to tell you a story that this week. Okay, I was watching do you watch killer shows like where true crime? Do you watch
Oh my
those?
God! Well, Jodie Wasserman comes over, and she's always on my couch.
Oh.
And she always gets control of the remote
clicker.
control, the
Yes.
clicker, and then we go to all the killer shows because that's what she watches, and I love them also. But I always go to Judge Judy.
That's
because
what my fiance does.
I love a Jewish woman that screams. So it's like mom. She's like mom.
She kind of annoys me.
Yeah,
but
she's annoying. But
I love the husbands who kill the wives.
Right.
I don't like anything about other kind of things. But like when the husband kills the wife or the wife kills, I love them and I want to
Sure.
know why.
Right.
I don't even really,
how they did it, why they did it,
and they do the stupidest things
right.
too, right?
And all the lead ups also.
Oh my God! And you
Right.
just and you always know it's the husband, but he has the girlfriend, he has the, he gets the insurance. They always do the same wrong shit.
Right. It's always about money, no?
It's about money or sex, but most of the time it's about money.
Money.
But they want to get rid of the wife so that they can have the kids and the girlfriend. It's like, oh, so I'm watching this killer show, and it's how I relax, like before I go to sleep. And it's about, they go, Joel Schoenfeld, right? And I'm going, Joel Schoenfeld, that sounds so familiar. And it's on this show called, what's the name of the show? It's called...
Joel Schoenfeld.
No, it's a series called The Perfect Murder. Okay, that's the name of the series. So I'm watching it, and I'm going, what is this guy? And he goes, oh, he's in the West Village, and he used to put in ads for young girls to come to his apartment. Okay, so I know Joel Schoenfeld because I answered his ad. So anyway, Joel Schoenfeld is a rapist who was shot in the head. And it was this, and the whole show is about how they found out who shot the guy in the head.
How do you know him?
I know him because the way he would get women to come to his apartment is he'd put an ad on the Village Voice, and it would say, young girls, if you're looking for a free apartment, no rent. How stupid was I, right?
How many years are we going back?
I was 26, 27, something, and I thought my apartment's very expensive, $350 a month. And I go, well, I would like to do a free apartment. So I call him up to make the appointment. He goes, what do you look like? And I go, I thought that was a weird question, right? I'm like, I'm okay. He goes, do people tell you you're pretty? I go, I mean, sometimes they have. He goes, are you a model? I'm like, no. He goes, why don't you just come down and, you sound good. If you're an actress, you must
You never thought that there was like a catch? You were so naive. You were naive.
I came from Utica, New York.
Right.
I'm stupid.
No one ever told you, there's nothing's for free? Like
No,
if someone says
there's no
they're
free
gonna
lunch,
give you,
no.
Okay.
So I go to his apartment. It's on West Street. I go to his apartment. There are girls sitting in the living room, all models, 18, 19-year-old young girls. There's three of them. They're talking.
There were others that also
Others who are waiting for this slot in his apartment. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I really want this apartment. All these girls are. So he goes, Patty, he made me jump the line. Patty, come here. He goes, here's a place where you can sit. He opens the door. It's a bedroom with only a bed in it. It only fits a bed. There are no chairs.
Okay.
So again, I go in there and I go, well, where do I sit? And he goes, sit on the bed. And I'm like, well, that's weird. He goes, oh, there are people. What do you care? The people, don't worry, sit down.
Like
I sit down. He sits down next to me. Only his leg is touching my leg on the bed. Again, I still want the apartment. So he brings this book open.
Was he good looking?
No, he was hideous. He had boily zits on his face.
Oh my God!
And swooping.
And there were people that were actually sitting there waiting.
Swooping back. But he was like this big photographer. That's what he did for a living. So he took model headshots, and the way he lured them in was he said, "I can give you free headshots." So he sits down. He opens the book. I'm sorry, this is a long story, but I'll get to it quickly. He opens the book. All naked pictures of women. He goes, these are the pictures I take. How would you like to have your picture taken? I go, well, I don't want to do naked pictures. He goes, why not? I'll give you an extra $25 an hour. And I'm thinking, oh my God, free rent and $25 an hour? And then I go.
And you remember what happened to Tootie on Fact of Life? Remember that episode?
No, what happened to Tootie?
Tootie, she went in, the same thing to a guy, and then the same thing, you want to be a model, take off your clothing. And she's like, I don't know if I want to take, you just did the scene from Facts of Life. Except you're playing the role of Tootie. That's exactly what happened to Tootie.
Oh my God! Yeah. Did Tootie got away? I'm
no,
assuming.
She started crying. He got aggressive with her, and then he said, "No, take off your clothing," and it was like almost rape, but it wasn't. And then she was crying, and she ran to Mrs. Garrett.
I can't believe they did that on Facts of Life.
Yeah, Mrs. Garrett got involved. It was crazy.
Okay, so he shows me the pictures. I don't want to do it. So I go, I'll think about it. I'll call you back. So I want to just get out of there. So, and the door is shut, right? So he goes, why don't you just take your shirt off now, and then I'll see if it's worth giving you $25 an hour, because your boobs have to look good. I go, you know what? I really don't think I want to do this. And he goes, he gets up off the bed. He goes to the door, locks it. It goes click, and he stands in front of the door, and he goes, I think you should take your shirt off now and show me what you got and see if I can. And this is Joel Schoenfeld, what the show's about. So I don't know what to do, because I'm thinking, this guy's going to kill me. This guy's going to rape me. Are the girls in the other room? Are they going to hear me scream? What are they going to do? And I jump off the bed, and I'm like fucking frantic. I'm like, okay, I go, unlock that door right now. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know what you're doing. I want to get out. Move out of the way. I start walking toward the door. He gets in front of the door. He says, why don't you relax? Calm down. Wait, everything's going to be. I go, let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out. He lets me out. I go running out the door, and I thought I almost got raped. Okay. 10 years later or whatever.
His mistake is he should have roofied all the girls in the room. He should have given you something to drink to relax. You know, have a drink, talk to you. Then you get really tired. Then he could have raped 1 million people. He could have been that's a great way to rape people.
Well, Bill Cosby.
I'm not saying you should rape people, but if you're going to rape anyone, you have to invite them to the room, naive girls, you don't lock the door yet, because that'll scare them.
Scares them.
Give them something to drink. They get really like, what's going on? Oh my God. Then you lock the door and you rape, and you can do that one after another, and you can rape like 30 people a day.
It was half-assed.
Right.
Yeah, he was half-assed.
He's a stupid rapist.
See, it was very stupid. So years later, I opened
Lucky for you.
Village Voice, picture of him on the front cover, ugly guy, shot in the head.
Who shot him?
You know who shot him? A guy who was the boyfriend of a girl who had been raped. His girlfriend, who was 19, he raped her. He came to the apartment, shot the guy point blank in the head. I remember reading the article, and I thought, good.
That's right.
He deserved it.
He did.
He had been on
Did that
parole.
guy have to go to jail?
He went to jail for 16 years, and this is why I feel terrible.
Stinks.
That Joel Schoenberg was doing all these horrible things to women. I don't know how many women he raped. He was on for all these things, and he just dies. Okay, a shot in the head, that's not the best way to die.
Right.
But this guy had to spend 16 years for doing the right thing what the cops hadn't done. But anyway, that's my little feel-good story before we go into...
How long did it take you to realize that's Joel Schoenfeld from when I was 25?
You know what? I saw the picture in the Village Voice, and I thought, this looks so familiar. Why do I knew the name. And then I'm reading the story, and I'm like, on West Street, that's on West Street, and he had girls, and he put ads in the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy.
About that, right?
Because I never told anybody.
Right.
I was embarrassed. Like, how embarrassing. When people go, why don't people who are, I wasn't raped, but why don't women who are raped, why don't they come forward? Why would I come forward? It's so embarrassing.
You're naive, you make a mistake, you're young, you don't know, and then all of a sudden you're in a really bad situation.
It was totally scary.
Then a shame spiral, all that. It's like
bad.
really sad.
I can't believe that was a Tootie story.
Yeah, that was a Tootie story. story.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you could.
Well,
write.
anyway, that's the show, and I was just watching that. I'm like, oh my god! And he actually extorted from the women. So he would say, "I'll give you the $25." Then he would go back and get $1,000 from them and say, "If I'm going to put these pictures up all over, I'm going to bring them to work."
Oh, look at that.
He would show up at their jobs
Oh,
and
my
extort
God.
money. So he was
Wow.
like bad to the bone.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
Oh,
my
God.
little weekly story.
And then someone shot him in the head.
Right in the head.
That's
He
what
deserved it.
happens.
All
Yep.
right. So let me say why I love Danny Cohen. All right. First of all, you do okay. You know, a lot of people on Facebook.
Wait, I just want to say
please,
that
go
I'm
ahead.
not tagged, and I want to know whoever's watching, if you can tag me, put
Kevin
it on my
should
wall.
tag you.
Hi, Kevin. Is Kevin watching?
No,
Oh.
let me call him right now.
Hi.
Can you tag him?
Well, I just only because if you can tag me, you can
I
go on
can't
my
believe
wall.
you're not tagged.
My
You can
fans
share
can
it
watch
on-
me.
You can share it.
Share it right now.
Okay,
Sh-
where
can
do I
you
go to
share it?
Chick?
You got to go to Carrie Carabas.
Carrie? Okay.
I
No,
don't know
let's
why
keep
that-
talking. Keep talking. I
Okay,
got it.
okay. All right. Okay, this is what I love about Danny Cohen with his
Yeah.
okay, first of all, the videos are brilliant. Okay. You know, most people when the whole thing happened with Kathy Griffin, people were like, I think it's terrible what she did. I think it's all right what she did. I think that she should do everyone gives their opinion. Danny Cohen's post for the Kathy Griffin thing is Kathy Griffin crying in the background.
Yeah. And me modeling.
And he's modeling.
I love the idea that I'm modeling. It's so
He's
crazy to
modeling
me.
into the camera with
With her sobbing in the
with her
background.
sobbing going-
Like, I get my life is broken. I'm like, modeling.
and she's like, I'm a victim. They're bullies.
yeah,
and you
yeah.
just keep looking into the
Because I
camera.
like it. I like the idea of like and then I decided after that video that every time someone has a nervous breakdown on TV, I'm gonna have them in the background instead of music crying, and then I'll be modeling my hair.
I also like one of my favorite videos of yours
Which one?
is where you're crying. You're singing. What's the song? You're singing and it's sped up. And
Oh
you
yeah,
go,
and then I die at the end.
and then you die at the end.
Yeah, my brother wants me to die in the beginning. He says you should die in the beginning of every video. I'm like, okay, it's my brother. He doesn't really.
It's my favorite.
Doesn't like my comedy.
You sing it. So your brother doesn't like your comedy.
No, it's
he
family.
doesn't get you.
No, they're my brothers. They're not. Siblings are not supposed to like your comedy.
What about your mother? Your mother must let.
My mother.
I've
you know
seen her
what?
on videos with you.
She does. She is not involved, but when she is involved, she enjoys it.
She does.
She does.
Is she? She's funny like you.
She's
She's
very
definitely
dark.
funny.
Oh, she's a dark. She
what do
has.
you mean dark?
Oh, she has a dark sense of humor. She loves dark comedy. Anything that has to do with death.
Really?
She loves death jokes.
I'm obsessed with death. Well, I'm obsessed with death.
She loves a good death joke.
Really?
Yeah, she loves anything that's dark and edgy. The darker and the edgier, she loves it. She loves like anything that's dark.
Do you like dark stuff?
Yeah, well, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I love dark stuff.
Some
I
of your
love
posts
dark
are a
humor.
little dark
But,
too.
You know, my stuff on stage is not dark.
No, it's not.
No, it's light and fun.
Yes.
But I have two different comedy mediums. Like what I do on Facebook
Yeah.
is like a writing medium. It's like
Yes.
more of like storytelling. And
Yes.
So I do that. I don't bring everything you see on Facebook, I won't bring on stage.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why?
Well, because it's already burnt. Like I do it on
Oh.
Facebook. It's done. That's Facebook.
Okay.
And then I write differently for stage. Because also what you can read isn't something that necessarily something that you can perform.
Okay. All
You know?
right.
It's like different. It's like a almost like a story, a little story.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking because I was looking you up on Twitter too, and you don't have as much on Twitter. But I
No.
feel like you're not a Twitter.
I'm not.
You're not a Twittering person.
It's like a ghost town. Twitter is. I know there are some people that love Twitter, and I'm sorry. I mean, I don't. I apologize. People love Twitter. I don't. It's like a ghost town to me. It's like there's no soul in Twitter, but there's soul in Facebook. Like you can start a fight on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying. Like you can like get something going on Facebook. You can do some. You can get blocked. Well, can you get blocked on Twitter? I guess.
Yeah, you can.
I didn't know you could block
whatever.
on Twitter.
I don't
Have-
know. There's no life. Every time I go to like the Twitter, the face, it just seems so dead. Like there's nothing. It's like all nothing.
I agree. I don't. Well, I don't tweet enough, so maybe if I did more of it. But when I'm on Facebook, I feel like it's a warmer place. People
It
get
is.
mad at me, and I
Yeah.
blocked people, and they
There's-
yell at me and call me
Right.
names.
There's something going on.
But at least I know who they are, or what
Yeah.
whatever it is. But
there are pictures also, and then there also in Twitter, like there aren't any little pictures next to the name, and I like seeing. It's like almost like a picture book when you're a kid. There are like pictures with words, and so you see pictures and words, and it's like, oh, that's who that is. Oh, that's who that is.
Yes.
And then with when you're tweeting, it's only words.
And also Twitter, they're not their real names, so it's like, you know.
Also,
right. Who are you?
It's like a disconnect. There's a disconnect.
That's why I think it's meaner, because people can say meaner shit.
Oh,
you know,
I don't
or do you
even
not
know
think
that
that?
much. Why? Do you think
I think people can be really mean.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who have you gotten in fights with on Facebook? You have Facebook fights?
Well, I've been blocked 4 times, and this one, like, meaning I've been thrown off Facebook 4 times.
Wait a minute, not blocked by someone, but you mean thrown off of Facebook?
Thrown off of Facebook.
Like banned.
What would make
Banned.
you? What
like
would
what
make
happened? I don't know. For crazy things, I have no. I don't.
Do you
no
even
reason.
know why?
I write I'll write crazy posts because I write crazy posts and I know I do, and then somebody will report that post, and then I get. So the first time I got 24 hours, I was thrown off. Then I came back. The next time I was thrown off, it was 3 days, and then I was thrown off. Then the next time I was thrown off, it was 7 days, and then apparently the next time I get thrown off, it's going to be 30 days.
Oh my God!
And then the next time after that I get thrown off, I'm going to be blocked forever.
That is, but what could you possibly be saying, Danny? Your stuff is so sweet.
Well, I write posts. I write posts about, people giving birth and throwing their babies off a roof.
I
Whatever.
remember that post.
A plane that, people jumping out of plane. What I do is I watch the news. I feel what's going on my home feed. I get enraged by society and the way the world is going. And instead of addressing it like a normal human being.
That's what I like, is that you don't do it normal.
I
Can you give me that
address
post,
it. I
Adam?
don't want to. Oh, sorry.
Give me that post that I wanted from, because I want to read one of your posts. Because to give an example, it's like it's not like
I can't
a regular.
address things normally. Because then what happens is, then you have to debate normally with other people, and then it's never normal because.
And then it gets ugly.
No, it's not so much that it gets ugly. Is that, there's no. You can't win. You can't win because we're living in a world where. You can't win.
You can't win. And you're not going to change
Nobody's
their
gonna
mind. You're not going to change. Wait, can I read this one? This one's really funny. Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
You can read it. I don't have my glasses.
Oh, okay. It's about the N-word. You remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one.
Is that the one where every time I hear the N-word, I think of a black man hanging from a noose in Georgia?
No.
Because I don't like to hear.
Oh, wait.
Every time I hear the N-word, I don't like
that's...
hearing the N-word in a song, or if even when my black friends say it, I'm like, please don't say that word around me. I know you own the word.
Yes.
But every time I hear the word, I see it's visually.
Yes.
I see a black man hanging from a tree. In Georgia.
I know. That's why I get,
or Mississippi.
Black people don't like that. So
Wherever.
this is Danny's
In the
post.
South.
Am I allowed to use the N-word during sex with a black man if we're role-playing master and slave, or would I be crossing the line?
Right.
I want it to be organic, so I'd rather not ask him. Black friends, is this okay? He also wants me to wear a Klan outfit, and that was upsetting because I tried it on, and it's really hot under that hood. And when I told him it's hard to breathe, he was like, bitch, I'm going to beat your ass for making me your slave. So then I was like, I don't think I should use the N-word because he might really kill me, but I also really want to be authentic. I'm so confused. Maybe I should date a Chinese man. Okay.
That's a great ending.
That is
I just
fabulous.
I just forgot about that, but I was like, that's a nice, it's
but who writes a post like that? It's such, because people would be...
It's a good question.
It's
like, why? It's a legit question. You want to know what would you do during role playing if you're with a black person?
Yes.
And you want to get really role playing where it's master and slave. Like, what do you do?
I never thought of that.
Yeah. It's like Nazi and Jew. Like if you're playing Nazi and Jew, let's say I'm a Jew.
Yes.
And I met like a skinhead. One time I had a skinhead.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah, I had a skinhead thing.
What do you mean a thing?
He didn't come in a Nazi uniform. He said, I have a Nazi uniform. Do you want me to wear it? I said, I'm not really.
Wait, was this a sexual encounter?
Yeah, it was a sexual encounter.
Okay.
He said, do you want to play Nazi and Jew? I said, what is it?
Oh my God, I would be so afraid. I would be afraid.
I said, exactly. I said, what does that entail? Do I die at the end? You know what I'm saying? Because you're playing Nazi and Jew. He said, no, I'm going to call you dirty Jew, you fucking, am I allowed to?
Yeah, you can curse,
you
it
fucking
doesn't matter.
kike and all that stuff.
No.
Swine, and then, and then I'll hold you down and it'll be fun. I'm like, well, that sounds like fun. I said, but I don't need a uniform. I don't need the swastika. And then I'm like, look, if you really want to wear the uniform, you can. I'm easy breezy. And he never showed. He didn't show up with the uniform.
Okay, I can't tell if this is a made-up story or not.
No, it's not a made-up story.
It's not a made-up story.
I dated him. So what happened was it's a crazy story. This is years and years ago. And
See, I thought my story was crazy. This is crazier than my story.
Yeah, so this guy was like a prostitute. And that's Carol. Carol's outside the window and she waved.
Oh, Carol Montgomery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't have my glasses
her
on.
hair and
Oh, yeah, I didn't have my
see-
glasses on.
So this guy was like a prostitute, and I don't know how like this is back in AOL days before social media.
Right.
And he contacted me, and I saw him, and I liked him, and I'm back and forth. He said, "Oh, I $150." I'm like, I've never hired a prostitute, but and this is back when I was lean, I was looking good, I was in my early 30s.
Very
all
cute.
that.
Very
I said,
cute.
"Okay, great." I said, "I'll hire you because I've never had a prostitute before." And he's like, "Well, I can role play." And this guy was 6'5" or 6'6".
Was he good? He was good
Very
looking.
good looking, gorgeous body,
Really?
and he looked like a Nazi. So he's like, I can play the role of a Nazi, and this is when it started. I said, well, you don't have, and they'll back and forth. I said, okay. So he came over. He didn't wear the uniform. He did some Nazi stuff, but I was like, nah, whatever. I mean, it's fun, but it's kind of. I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to, like.
Were you afraid that he's really like this?
No,
or you
he was
think
the
it was
nicest guy.
Oh, he
was
was?
just playing Nazi. He was playing Nazi, and I was the Jew, and that was the role to play. It's like sort of like master and slave, like with a black person, and a lot of people do it. It's fetish, but whatever.
Okay.
So and then so what happened was, then he calls me up the next day. He goes, "I really liked you. I'd love to see you again." I said, "Sorry, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not going to pay you $150 every time you want to see me." He goes,
Right.
"No, I want to see you in between tricks." I'm like, "What? You mean I'm the one?" And, like this guy is a prostitute. He sees a lot of people, and he chose me. So I was honored and flattered.
Wow.
So I dated him. So we started. So this happened.
Did that bother you that he was banging other guys while he's dating you?
No, because in the gay lifestyle, you can't. I in the world I know of
Yes.
the gay world, you can't really trust anybody. Everyone's fucking around with
Oh,
it.
really?
Oh,
There are
that's why
no-
AIDS is rampant.
But you wait a minute.
Everyone fucks everybody.
But really, I
Oh,
always
yeah.
feel like I know some gay people who are very monogamous.
Maybe there is a handful,
Oh,
but most
okay.
of them have open relationships.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
now everyone's going to argue. I'm not being PC.
Yeah.
You
No.
get legal marriage, and now it's not. But even with legal marriage, whatever. I'm sure the people who are getting married are getting married because they want to get married.
Do you want to get married?
No.
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 Kids.
No.
No kids. No,
No,
marriage.
but wait, I want to just
Oh,
tell
yeah,
you.
go
what-
ahead, go ahead.
No, so I
Go.
started. So the first encounter happened the first night of American Idol when Fantasia auditioned.
Fantasia. I remember
Yeah,
Fantasia.
and when Fantasia won, so every Tuesday night he came over and we would have sex and we'd watch American Idol together. And then when Fantasia won, he turned to me, he's like, "Does that mean that our relationship is over?" And I said, "Yes."
Wait, why
And I
is
never-
it? Why was
never
it
did.
over?
Because I said, you know what? I'm dating. I'm not going to date a prostitute. I'm just
You came to your senses.
yeah.
Okay, that
It
makes
took,
sense.
it took whatever the whole time of American Idol for me to come to my senses.
Wait, may I read one more? I'm just going to read
I
one
know,
more.
What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about master and slave, and then Nazi.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Okay, this is the
Where is
other.
it?
I just want one other post, just so people understand who maybe don't know you. Did you share on your thing, by the way? Do we have
I'm
any
looking.
people?
I got confused because I usually like to talk to people when I'm live because people ask, but I can't.
Can you
seem-
put that on his
I'm
thing?
gonna look.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
share
look.
it?
But you ask. You do.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to read the next one. Here we go. Okay, here's this other post. Many years ago, before Eliza Schlesinger, my friend Sienna Fresno ended her act with a World War II joke. Then she shot a confetti popper up her wazooie and died on stage. But everyone gave her a standing ovation except for this German couple who just stared at her dead body as they sipped their beer. Remember, not everyone's going to get your humor.
Right.
That is a story with message, A,
Yes.
and brilliant.
Thank you.
I love it. 102 likes. I mean,
Because
come on.
a lot of comments were talking about Eliza Schlesinger and la la la, and so I was like, whatever. I'll just you can't it's subjective.
I love it. I totally love it.
Comedy's
So,
subjective.
when did you figure it out or no?
No, I'm like a lefty.
I can't believe it.
Sorry, everybody.
Call Kevin and tell him to
Someone's
share
saying
it.
they're complaining about the sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh,
Sorry
fuck.
about the
Something with
sound,
phone,
people.
something with the phone.
Is it going on the YouTube sound okay or no?
I'm figuring it out. You guys keep talking.
This isn't true. That's the thing. We're low budget.
Why don't you turn the air conditioner off, Adam?
Oh, I
It
don't-
sounds
it's
like
not
Morris
that.
Code is in the background.
Are you kidding
And then
me?
Michael Gunther says this sound. Robin Fox is like, "Oh, I finally found." And Danny, don't you dare get banned for life. I might, Kelly, but I thank you, Kelly. I don't know who's watching. Okay, so that's the story.
The
So
sound
there's
is
a
still
sound problem.
terrible?
No, it's just a little beeping.
Let us know if the sound is terrible if you're still
I'm
watching.
trying to figure
Okay.
it out. I'll tell you.
You sure you don't want to turn the air off, Adam, just to see if that's it?
No, I know that's not it. Because it's like a beeping, like there's a phone too close. It might be because like phones are.
Well, why don't you?
Or let me actually.
No, but we can. Let's keep talking.
Okay.
You keep talking.
So
Yeah.
why don't you just take his phone and hold it over there and see if that's it, and then you can
Yeah,
see if
I threw
see
it on
if
the
that's
floor.
okay. So when did you figure out you're funny and you want to do comedy?
Okay, so I never watched comedy growing up. I hated stand-up comedy.
No.
Yeah, I don't know anything about stand-up comedy. I didn't know anything about it until I was about 27 years old. But my whole life, people would be like, "You're so funny, you should be a stand-up comic." I'm like, I hate stand-up comedy. And I would never watch it because it was always boring. I'm like, why do I want to watch people with a microphone telling jokes? Like, that's not funny to me. I'm not interested in that. You know, I would,
God.
yeah, I mean, I would rather watch soap operas, you know, than that. Like, I found funny in drama.
Yes.
I didn't find funny in funny.
Sitcoms? Would you watch sitcoms?
I watched sitcoms. I'd watch I Love Lucy. I loved sitcoms and I
Okay.
loved soap operas.
Okay. But never
Stand-up.
never watched it.
I didn't know anything
George
about
Carlin,
nobody,
nothing.
nothing. Richard Pryor, nobody, anything.
No.
So then I
Okay.
bought a book, and then I learned how to write. So then I got up on stage, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then someone said, "Go buy Judy Carter's
Oh yeah,
book."
I like her book.
Yeah, I bought it, and
Yeah.
I learned. Oh, this is how you write a punchline. This is how you write a setup.
Right.
So it was a good starting point, and then I was able to pretend like I knew what I was doing.
Right.
And then I found my voice. You know, after being surrounded by comedy and watching my friends do comic, and then watching all the greats. I used to watch Jim Gaffigan. I used to watch Louis C.K. I used to watch Louis Black, Judy Gold, like all these great people that were at Gotham Comedy Club back when I
Yes.
started. I
Yes,
was working
yes.
there at the front desk answering phones.
I
and
didn't
would
know you
watch
worked at Gotham.
it. Sure.
You
Yeah.
have so many jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then I started doing comedy, and then 22 years later.
See, that's what I like about your stand-up comedy, though. Like, I was thinking this when you had a great Gotham set, hilarious, with the Chinese mother and the different kinds of stabbings. That there are stabbings that are, what are the two kinds of
I
stabbings?
think there's some that are sensible and
Sensible
there's
stabbings,
right.
and then the unacceptable,
Unacceptable
stabbings. Okay,
stabbing.
like I'm watching this and I'm thinking, like, no one could steal your act. No one could because it's you telling it. It's not like set up punchline at all. Like, I don't see you as a set up punchline guy, right?
Well,
Or do you think that is set up punchline?
I have set up in punchlines, but maybe it's like it's.
Why does it
all-
not seem like that to me?
I don't know. It's set up in punch. Yeah.
seems
and then
like-
punch. I set up punch, and punch.
It just seems like you're just riffing off of your head, and it just seems like it comes out of nowhere.
But you know that, Patty. That's the beauty of stand-up. You know, you write a joke, and then you let it go. You write the joke, you polish the joke, then you let the joke go, and then the joke comes to you on stage in live time. It's not rehearsed. It's just in the moment.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. So, like, what is your when you have a new bit? How do you do it? What do you say to
Well,
yourself?
These days, I don't get on stage.
This is what I don't understand.
I don't get on stage. So it takes me a million years to write a joke because it takes me, because I get up on stage once every 2 weeks. As a comic, you have to get up like 10 times a week.
But how is that possible? Like, what about because you don't have a car, or why? I don't understand it.
Well, okay, I don't drive, so that's a problem. So
Okay,
I don't
then.
do the road.
Okay.
But even if I drove, I wouldn't do the road because I have lonely issues and I don't like to be alone.
I don't either. Okay, I
Right.
get
So
it.
I wouldn't do that. I'd rather wait tables and then perform in the city.
Right.
So that's that's
But you
my
work
thing.
at the cellar, so that's
I work at the cell, but I only get like one spot a week, which is I'm grateful and
Right.
I love it, but it's one spot a week.
I just feel like that's
and that's
so
the only
crazy.
club I play. I don't play any other club.
See, if I were a manager or an agent, I would manage you,
Mm.
and then because I think that you should be like
I don't know
everywhere.
if you'd be a successful manager. I don't know. I think you would have to join the rest of the manage, except for Jeff Sussman. I love Jeff Sussman. Jeff Sussman is my manager, really.
Wait, Jeff Sussman, does he manage Joey Cola? Jeff Sussman?
Yeah, Joey
he-
Cola and
Oh, I didn't know
Kevin
that's your
James.
manager.
Yeah, I was with him. I was with him for about a year and a half, and then now he's Now I wrote a dramatic series with a couple of friends, and now
A dramatic series.
a dramatic. Yeah, I write dramatic. I don't write. I didn't write, and I'm having a hard time selling it because it's a dramatic series.
Are you in it?
It's about my life. But it takes place when I'm in my early 20s.
And-
so I'm not in it, but I wrote it, and I would love to produce it, and I'd love to sell it.
And why is it dramatic if it's your life? Is your life...
I write dramatic. I don't write funny. Like when I write, I
Yes.
write dramatic, but within the drama there are funny scenes.
Yes.
But it reads as a drama.
Oh
like
my God.
Anyone at like a literary agent at any agency will read it and be like, no, this reads as a drama. It's not a comedy. It's not a stand-up.
And is it for TV? It's a movie? What is it?
It's not a sitcom. It is. I want to sell it to high end or cable or to Netflix or Amazon.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what about your manager? Is he pushing it through, or what's going on?
It's not Jeff. Jeff's office. Chandra, who runs his office.
Okay.
She is the person who is trying to sell it. She's my girl.
Okay.
And I love her. She's one of the most amazing people in the. I love her.
Really?
Yeah, she's great. She's great. And so if I need something manager-wise, I can always go to them.
Okay.
But they don't really represent me. Like they're like sort of pseudo.
Shows
like,
or
yeah, like they don't. It's weird. It's weird.
Can they get you on what's his name show?
They could if I pushed. If I pushed, I probably could.
When I say what's his name, name?
Yeah, that one. Kevin Can Wait.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
and
can't you be on
and
that
the casting
show?
director knows me and saw my work and said nice things and said, "Oh, we love this guy. He's like blah blah blah." I don't push. I don't like to be aggressive. I don't like that.
Okay.
I want to be I want to be sought after. I want to be chased after.
Yes.
I don't want to be the person that runs. That's my style. I know a lot of people will argue. All my friends will argue. You got to go. You got to do this. You got to work. You got to jump. You got to run. You got to call.
See, that's what I would be telling you, but I don't do it myself. I'm very uncomfortable.
It's not so much. I'll ask once or twice. I don't know. I just won't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah.
You know how he found me originally?
No.
He heard about me through his brother. He should rest in peace, John. And then John was following me. I saw this guy following me.
What do you mean following you on Facebook?
No, he was following me
on the street?
like live, not in the street, like in clubs. I would get on stage. This is when I was doing it like 10 times a week.
Yeah.
This is years ago, like 12 years ago. And I kept seeing this guy. I'm like, who are you? He's like, oh yeah, I like
Just
watching
happen to
you.
be here.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Jeff Sussman showed up. He was like, yeah, I'm in from California. I was told that I have to watch you.
And that was his brother who told him about you.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, I came to California to watch you. I'm like, what are you?
Are you kidding me?
I'm like, what do you mean you're watching me? I'm not even on stage tonight. He goes, no, you're on in 5 minutes. I'm going to get you on stage. I'm like, who are you? And he's like, Jeff Sussman. I'm like, I know that name because I used to pick up phones at Gotham Comedy Club.
Oh my God.
And Jeff Sussman used to call, and I remember that Jeff Sussman was a big manager.
Wow.
So I know all the big managers because I used to answer the phone. So I know like Dave Becky, Jeff Sussman.
All those guys.
All those guys, and I remember all of them, right? So his name stood out, and I remember he was an important name.
Wow.
So when he said, I'm like, oh, this is the guy I've been waiting for my entire career. Of course, I fucked it up because.
Why?
Well, God. It's a long story. But I told the story before.
All right. No, we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
It's nothing crazy, but it's just a long story. Let's talk about other things.
Okay, let's do. You want?
I screwed it up because I'm stupid. That's all.
Oh yeah, I've done a million things like that. All right. So, what about like childhood? You're gay.
Yeah, I'm gay.
So, how is that? How is that in the world of comedy? How is that as growing up as a kid? Did you know you were gay when you were a kid?
I always knew I was gay.
You did? From how
yes.
old? 2, 3? I mean, from when you can
From
remember?
When I was 5.
5?
4. 5.
What
4.
made you know?
I knew. It's interesting. Well, now we're gonna get all crazy now because all the gays freak out. For me, my experience was it comes from a childhood wound. It was nurture versus nature. For me, it's nurture. It's not nature.
Oh, interesting. Because
For
a
me.
lot of people disagree about that.
Right. So for me,
Yeah.
I don't think it's nature. For me, it's nurture because I remember needing a man when I was 5 years old, but my father passed away.
How old were you when he
I
passed?
was 5 years old.
Oh.
So there was trauma.
Oh.
Right. So
Okay.
that's what I remember. And so for me, that's what I remember. So
Then you wanted a man in your life
you're
after
not
that.
sexual when you're 5.
I kind of remember being sexual when I was 5.
Sort of, right?
We had bummy shows
Yeah.
when I was 5. And also I remember watching TV. This is weird. but I would be sexually aroused at a certain scene, I remember.
I remember being sexually aroused, but I don't connect it as sexual because
I
I'm
didn't think it was-
5, so it doesn't make sense.
You know what
to
I
me.
thought it was? I thought it was something. I thought, oh, I've got an itch in my pee-wee. That's what I thought. But looking back, I think that I was aroused. I was watching something on TV with a woman with no clothes on, and someone was doing something to her, and so I did.
Well, I would get sexually aroused during watching Popeye, the cartoon, when Bluto would like grab olive oil, and he was bigger than Popeye.
Yes.
And then I liked that. I liked that the bigger guy won over from the smaller guy, and I was like, oh, poor Popeye, but I like the big guy.
Oh yeah.
And it was like sexy to me that a big guy was grabbing olive oil.
Wow.
So that was sexual to me, but I was like, and then like in hindsight, and yeah. So now I look back, I'm like, anyway, this is. Where are we going with this?
Oh, I'm just finding out about
it's nuts.
No, because you know my.
Is this interesting for people to? Yeah, it is.
Isn't
Okay.
it? Why? What do you want? Do you want to talk about something else? Maybe.
No, I never know if it's interesting, and I feel bad. I always feel bad. I have
No,
problems.
I think it's so interesting.
Okay,
I love
great.
hearing about being sexually aroused at Popeye.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay. So wait a minute. So
yeah.
So now you know you're gay.
Right.
And you're 4 or 5. You're 5.
And then like whatever, life went on, and and I had sexual encounters, like
with women or just guys?
No, men, only men.
Only men. You never thought, oh, maybe I'll
never.
try this.
No, I was never sexually attracted to women ever.
And were you thinking like, oh, I just want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be gay. Did you have that feeling?
Sure, like in my 20s.
Oh, in your 20s?
In my late teens, when my friends started getting married,
Okay.
like when 21, 22, I grew up in an Orthodox Jewish community, so everyone gets married when they're like 21, 22.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Oh, so you're Orthodox?
I was Orthodox at the time.
What are you now?
Now I'm pseudo-Orthodox. I sort of fall off the wagon every 3 days. Like,
What
like,
what do you have to be
I
to
do,
be
yeah.
Orthodox?
No,
you have to eat certain food.
Yeah, you have to follow laws. So sometimes I follow laws, sometimes I don't.
But what about, are you allowed to be gay if you're Orthodox? Or no,
you are allowed to be gay, but you're not allowed to have homo sex. You can't have gay sex.
So
But you can be gay.
You can have the idea in your head.
Sure, and you can do anything that's gay, but you have to be. But you can't because you have to get married. A Jewish law, a man has to get married. A woman doesn't have to get married, but a man has to get married. It's a Jewish law for a man to get married to a woman, I should say.
So how do you be gay if you're Orthodox? That's what I don't get. Like I know you can, but how do you have a sex life? How do you have?
You can't have gay sex.
But what do you do? Do you have?
I
gay
haven't
sex?
had gay sex in 10. I haven't had sex in 10 years.
No, you haven't.
10 years, no sex. Sorry. I know it's weird.
Because you're Orthodox.
Well,
or because
now
why?
it's because I'm fat. What happened was
Stop,
no.
you're
I
not
swear to God, I'm telling you, I'm obese. So
You're not fat, Danny. You're
I
adorable.
am not only obese. I'm obese. Not only am I fat. If I lose 10 pounds, I'll be fat. But for now, I'm obese. I promise you. I'm
I
obese.
swear to God, you're not.
By American Health Association. I weigh 228 pounds and I'm 5'6". That's obese.
Okay.
If I weigh 222 pounds or 21 pounds or I think 20 pounds, then I get into the fat category. And then till 200. And then I'm overweight till 200, like 195, I'll be in healthy zone.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm obese now.
But you're not having sex because you don't want people to see you naked. But
Right.
guys must be hitting on you.
Nobody hits on me.
That cannot be true.
Nobody hits on me.
But maybe you don't go places to get hit on.
No. Look, I look at I have a double chin, and that's not attractive. And
Danny,
gay men.
you've got a bad image of yourself. I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a girl.
Right.
But I see
But
you.
girls are kinder and they're more emotionally driven.
I see you as an adorable catch. You're
Thank you.
hilarious.
Thank you.
And you're very handsome. You've got the
Gay
best
men
head
don't
of hair.
think so.
They don't think what? That
They
you're
don't think I'm handsome. But that's not even the point. The point is I don't feel sexy because I'm fat. I'm obese. But I did that because I was religious 10 years ago, and then I started eating because I didn't want to have sex. It's really crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
so I kept on the weight for religious reasons.
Because then you were afraid if you did have the gay sex, now you're going against
Right,
God or you're
right,
going against a religion.
God.
So God doesn't want you to have sex.
Right, according to Jewish law, divine
Yes.
law. So
Yes.
the Torah law
Yes.
is divine law.
Okay.
So I believe that it's divine law.
You do believe that?
I don't believe that it's some guy that wrote the laws. Right.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't believe any of it.
So
Right.
now I'm worried.
Yeah. It's okay.
But can you have?
I know that I have a right to my opinion. You have a right to your opinion.
No, I know.
It's all good.
Because you know what?
You can totally say, that's nuts. And I can't fight it or debate it with anyone.
Right,
If
no.
someone says, oh, yeah, that's crazy, I'm like, I know. I would probably think it was crazy if I were you too, but I'm not you, I'm me, and I don't think it's crazy.
That's right. I was talking to a girl who's a comic who's Orthodox, and we were talking, and she was saying, oh, God, I wish I could have a shrimp. I'm like, I just have the shrimp. Who cares? She goes, no, that's really, you can't have the shrimp. I'm like, why
it's
not?
a big deal. Also, shellfish is a really big deal.
But that's
in
such a big deal.
Judaism.
But to me, like, I'm not religious, you know? So, of course,
Right.
that's the problem with people. Everybody comes from a different reality. So for me, it's like, have the shrimp. The shrimp is delicious. Have the
Right.
boyfriend. Sex is fun. Have
Right. And
you
you're
know,
right.
Enjoy your life.
And you're right. There's
Yeah.
nothing. You are right. From a human perspective, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Right.
It's today's society where it makes sense.
Yes.
But I don't follow society's rules.
Right.
I follow Torah law.
Yes.
Right.
Were you religious as a kid, like your
I
family?
wasn't. We were sort of traditional, and then we became more religious.
Okay, so
And then my family's very religious now.
they are?
Yeah.
Aren't they in Israel?
They live in Israel.
Your
yeah.
mother does too?
Mhm.
So you go over there.
I go. I'm leaving again in August to visit.
Would you ever live there?
3 weeks. Nah, I tried it, and it's not for me.
It isn't?
Nah.
You
I'm
do
so American.
really?
Oh my God, I'm such an American.
What's the difference? I mean,
Oh, I'm fat. I'm lazy. I love to hang out on my couch. I don't want to work. That's American.
what is it? What are
I
the
love
Israelis
ice.
like?
What? I love ice cubes. You go to Europe, they're like, ice cubes? What? We don't put ice cubes in Coca-Cola. You know, like nobody in Europe eats ice. Ice is such an American thing, and I
hate ice.
You hate ice?
I don't
Oh,
put
you
ice
would
in
love
anything.
Europe.
Really, I like warm. I've had warm beer. I don't drink anymore, but I used to love warm
European
beer.
you sound right now?
I don't like it because it hurts my teeth. I don't like my teeth get bothered.
Oh, okay.
I like a warm beverage.
So
My
now
waters are warm always.
Mm.
I like a warm.
Okay, that's very European and very Israeli also.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
And the Israelis are not lazy.
Oh my God, no. Those people are they're always moving.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't like that either. I got to watch a little television.
You know, but they're surrounded by people who want to kill them.
Yeah, that's
So
another
they're always
thing.
ready.
That's
You know, they're always ready. There's
that's a-
always something going on. So we're not ready. We're ready for nothing.
Yeah, that's
America
true.
is not ready for anything. Like, we can be taken over tomorrow, and we will be a bunch like you know what we're like? America is like the house cat that is suddenly thrown out into the street after being raised only in a house. And now, here, go. And then it's like, what? Where? And all these other cats are like, they've been in the street for like years. They grew up in the street. Those little cats that were house cats, they will die in a minute. That's how Americans are. We are not ready for any kind of war, for any kind of attack. We are not. We're fat, we're lazy, and we love it. And that's, you know what? I love that about America. I love the freedom of being like, chill. This is
I know.
This is what we do. I love America. That's why I love America.
I do love
it.
America
But
too.
you
I
know
love
what?
it.
A price comes with that.
What's the
Price
price?
comes with being fat and lazy. A price comes when the other animals, they want to come. They'll take over. And when you let your guard down, when you're not ready, because the world is not a kind place. There are a lot of countries that will easily take over and will easily start a war and will easily come and take over.
I worry about all this.
And
kind
we're
of stuff.
we're falling apart. The country is falling apart, and we will not. America doesn't have much longer.
Really? Is this how you?
We don't have much longer.
Why are you saying this? What do you think is
Because
going to happen?
we are a done country. We are separated. We are divided. We are fat. And we are lazy, and we love it. We love watching TV. We love watching shit TV. We eat shit. Everything's shit. Everything is just sugar and carnivals and circuses and Kardashians, late night TV, late sleepers. I mean, we're not.
It's like the fall of Rome, actually. You know, the whole fall of Rome was
they were
bread and circus.
That's right.
Bread and circus. They gave you circus and they gave you bread, and everyone was happy with the circus and the
and
bread. And then they got fucking killed.
Ideally, like, that's the kind of life you strive to have. You want to have that kind of world where life is good and fatty and you celebrate all the time and it's always a party. That's what you want. That's what Facebook is. I mean, that's what we want. But there's a price that comes with that, because when you let your guard down, you get too fat, too lazy, then there are people out there. The world is not a good place. There are crazy people out there.
Yeah.
You know.
You usually don't do posts on politics. Not a lot that
no.
I don't see.
Right.
You did one on Walmart that turned into a political. No, not Walgreens, Wallbounds.
Oh, yeah. Which one was that?
That was the one.
I always forget my posts.
Okay,
because I write them and then I let them go.
I remember this because I so identified with it. You're talking about the 3 lines. There were 3 cash registers and 1 line, and you got in a fight with the woman.
The guy.
The guy, but then you got in the fight with the woman. Yeah. Because she. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was.
So I'll tell you.
What happened.
This was happening. I'm in Walgreens and I'm standing online.
Right.
Okay, there's a woman behind me. Oh, this guy comes in. He's like, "Where's there are 3 registers." He's like, "Where's the line? Where's the line?" I'm like, "The line's behind me. There's 1 line and 3 registers."
Right.
So the next register, the next person on line goes to that register.
Okay.
He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm just gonna stand here." I'm like, "I know, but there's 1 line and there are 3 registers."
I hate those people.
And he's like, "Fuck that. I'm just going to stand here." I'm like, "All right, stand wherever the fuck you want. You asked a question. I'm giving you an answer. That's the answer. You asked a question. Where's the line? This is the line. You want to do whatever the fuck you want? Go do whatever the fuck you want. You're going to do whatever you want anyway. What are you asking stupid questions for?" And then he looked at me and then the woman's like, "Don't fight with him. Don't fight with him." I'm like, okay, I won't fight with him. And then he gets online, pays, and the woman's like, starts whispering to me, "Maybe there are 3 lines. Maybe he's right." I'm like, "No, there's 1 line, lady. 1 line. You like," and then I was like, "Oh, wow. You love him. You love him because he got his way."
That's right.
You love him because he bullied him way in. He got what he wanted. He won. In your eyes, he's the winner. And you're a fucking loser, lady, because you just you pick someone who's an ethical animal.
That's right.
Yeah. You love the animal. You love the bad guy. You love the guy who killed. You like the guy who raped. You like the guy that does everything that's wrong in the world. That's that guy. Why don't you do the right thing and stand on line and wait till the next register opens? Why do you want to follow the animal? That's what I really wanted to say all that to her, but I didn't. I just turned to her and I was like, "There's only 1 line." And then the next register opened, then I was gone before I can get into a fight with her. But I almost attacked her. But that's...
You said, because it's like...
And then I said, "Oh, that's exactly what happened with Trump."
That's what you said. And all of a sudden, this whole story becomes a political story because it's like people identify with the winner. Mm-hmm. Whether the winner or the guy who bullies his way into the place is doing the right thing or the wrong thing, it's...
Because people... It's sad because that's normal. That's human. That's human nature. Human nature. People forget to do the right things. People when they're in a rush. People when they don't think by instincts. Human beings don't always do the right thing. They just want to get out. They just want to go. They want to.
It's like survival or whatever.
Survival.
It's like I want to go where I'm going, and I'm not going to wait here.
Take a second and think about the right thing. Don't don't lose your fucking mind. It's like road rage. You just relax. Nobody's relaxed. Everyone's losing their fucking mind.
But I've gotten in more fights over the 3 cash register 1 line thing because I always wait in the line, and there's always the asshole that wants to cut the line. Always.
And rationally, it makes no sense. Think about it. 1 line, 3 registers. So that means that everybody online has a choice of 3.
Yes.
Instead of getting stuck behind 1.
That's right.
So why would you want to get stuck? And I told the lady, why would you want to get stuck behind 1 when you have a choice of 3?
That's right.
You have a choice of 3. 3 men want you. Why would you get stuck with 1 man? You have a choice of 3, right?
Yes.
3 men want to date you.
Yes.
You're going to leave the other 2? No, you want to date this one, that one, that one, see who's who. To stand on, well, that's a bad example.
Because you're locked in. You're locked in.
You're locked
when
in.
You stand behind the 1 register, you're locked in.
Right.
I always like and I hate when I'm online and I'm next in line and someone opens the other cash register and they go,
next
okay,
in line, and some random person runs
the
there.
guy from the end. And then I walk over and I always have a fight. I go, "I'm next in line." And then she goes, "I'm sorry, I'm already ringing him up." I go, "Well, maybe you should say next in line instead of I'll take someone, I was next in," and then I get in a fight with the cash register. But anyway, I always remember that post because I am so adamant about the 3 cash register 1 line. Get behind me.
Right.
You son
And
of a bitch.
she just what happened was her voice, the voice in her head was out loud behind me.
Yeah.
And it was very much like what happened with Trump's win.
That is
I remembered all the politics that was going before he won.
Right.
I remember how people were talking. I'm like, why would you vote for this guy? He talks like an animal. The guy's a Neanderthal. He talks like a caveman. You want him to be the leader of this country? I don't care how successful of a business person he is. He doesn't speak like a leader.
It's horrible.
I don't want him to be representing me. I wouldn't want a manager in my business, like as a stand-up comic. I wouldn't want an animal of a manager. Some people would. Barry Katz, an animal. An animal. I don't want him to be my manager. Every time I see Barry Katz, he's like, oh, you're the next one. I'm like, go fuck yourself, you fucking ass. He's an animal.
He's full of shit.
He's full of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit.
When he used to book rooms, he would give you the fake start time. The check would come 3 weeks later. There was no check the night.
Oh my God, Barry Katz. I want him to represent me. I'm like, you want him to represent you? Good luck. Those are the same people that wanted Trump to win, the people that want Barry Katz to represent them. That's what that is. I got a nice man. Jeff Sussman's a sweetheart.
I believe
he's a nice guy.
I believe in character, and I believe in character in my politicians. And here's what I don't like. Like I was talking about,
you could be shrewd as a business. There's nothing wrong with being shrewd.
That's fine.
But you got to do the right thing.
You got to have character. You know, I was talking to my my doctor, who I love. He's this funny guy. He's this great guy. I love everything about him. He's the best doctor I ever had. He goes, oh yeah, Hillary. Oh God, oh yeah, I'm voting for Trump. I'm like, you're voting for Trump? And all this stuff had come about the grabbing pussies and just every horrible thing that this guy ever did. And I go, I don't understand. Like, what? He goes, what are you kidding me? He goes, how could I vote for Hillary when you got Donald Trump? He's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. He's going to go in there. He goes, it's like this. This is how he explains it to me. He goes, you know, your toilet's backed up. It's full of shit. He goes, you know, you call a plumber and the plumber comes over. And you're like, oh, good. Can you fix all that shit up in my toilet? And he goes, yeah, I can fix it. And as he walks in, he kind of smells and his ass crack's showing. And he's an idiot. Am I going to say, hey, get out of here? You know, I'm going to say, come in. I welcome you because this toilet's been backed up for years. No one's been able to fix that. He goes, that's what Trump is. Trump's the plumber with his ass crack showing. And I go, but I don't want a president with his ass crack showing. You know,
well, that's a really great example. I kind of love that.
It made me understand why, because he said, this is the guy who'll get stuff done. I go, what about Russia? He goes, I don't believe the whole Russia thing. So he sees
Well, I don't believe anything. I don't believe any of the news. I don't believe
any
of it. Oh, no. I don't believe it. Because you know why?
Why?
Because everybody thought that Hillary was going to win until Trump won. Like, even like 2 minutes before he won.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, no, Hillary's going to win. And then when he won, everybody so people have no idea what they're talking about.
I know.
I don't believe anybody. I don't believe the news at all. So I know I'm naive. People are like, oh, so how do you live your life? I'm like, I don't read the news. I'm a horrible citizen.
Did you vote or no?
I did not vote. I'm not registered.
Because you don't believe in voting? You don't believe in...
No, I'm lazy. Like I said, I'm like a lazy American. I'm an idiot. I'm just an idiot. I'm like
You're not an idiot.
I'm like a beach bum, but I live in New York. Like that's the kind of person I'm like a hippie. Like I'm just, well...
You want to be left alone. Well, you know
I want to be left, but it's idiotic. It's a really bad way of... I know I'm wrong.
I used to not care about...
I know I'm wrong.
I used to not care about that stuff. But now I always vote because, you know, I have kids.
And I wasn't raised that way. My mother would
really?
be
Is your mother very political?
Yeah, she's very much like, pay it. I mean, I pay my taxes every 7 years. You should.
What does that mean, every 7 years?
I always forget. And then like 6 years later, I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay my taxes. This is not normal. And then I call Harvey, Harvey Altman.
Yeah, Harvey. He does
he
does my taxes.
Right. So I call Harvey. I'm like, Harvey, it's Danny. He's like, oh boy, how many years?
Don't you owe $1 million when it's late?
Yeah, and then he's like, just give me $800, and then I'll get back to you in 2 months. I'm like, great. Here's I send him a check for $800.
Yes.
2 months later, I said and then I get 2 checks from the federal and whatever, and I always get money back.
So you don't, even when you're late and you're paying late fees and all that other stuff?
I always make money.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because I'm a waiter. So I always give my money.
I cannot believe all the jobs you have. Okay, you're a waiter. You're a stand-up comic.
And a stencil artist.
And the stencil artist, I've said this before when you were on, your stencil artistry is fantastic.
Thank you.
Where do they go if they want to see it on...
Go to Stencilicious on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you're Stencilicious and Carrie is Gyrolicious.
Right, isn't that funny?
Yeah, that is really kooky.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you do like other stuff, right? Or is that just for your friend? The chairs with the birds.
Oh, I
love
do
the
like
chair
all
with
this
the-
crap for my friends. Yeah.
I love that.
With the birds, yeah.
With the cement birds on it. It was missing finials, and you put like the
Yeah.
cement birds on.
That's right. We got
fucking
these
love
little
that.
cement birds and we drilled them in, we glued them in. Now they're birds instead of finials.
And it's like bright colors,
love
and it's
that.
like.
I
And then
love
the
beautiful
white
things. I like,
furniture-
like I said, I'm like a stupid person. I'm like, I like everything pretty and I want everything pretty. It's like I'm ridiculous.
You're so artistic, Danny.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's
I'm
really.
I'm like a floaty artist type.
I love
That's
it.
why I'm not, like, I have to, you have to grow up a little
I
bit.
look at your house. It's very like modern, and my house is very old school and that not.
Yeah, but you voted.
creative.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
true.
voted.
I don't have time to
It's
repaint
like,
my house. It looks like shit.
I mean, I wish I could be like have a beautiful home and also vote. Like I want to do and pay my taxes like on time.
Yes.
Like I want to be a balanced, normal American citizen.
You-
I don't want to be a fat, lazy one. and
You
I
know,
am.
the only reason I pay my taxes on time is because I live with someone who makes me pay my taxes on time. Like he
love
says,
that.
"Oh, we got to do this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like the dumb one that like goes along for the ride, and he's like, "Look, now we got to pick because I work at the antique store. Now
I
we
had
got
a
to pay your
husband, he'd be
antique."
like that.
Because you need someone like when you're like
Yes.
me or like you, like
I had a husband, he would be the one that taking care of everything.
that's what he pays everything.
I swear
He's
to you.
just like,
That's what I need in my life. I need a man that will
That's-
take care of
that's
that.
what I'm telling you.
But I'm religious. I can't do it.
Oh God,
I'm never going to pay taxes.
you're
now.
never gonna.
I'm never going to vote.
Secretly, I want you to
Yeah.
have a boyfriend. Secretly, I respect your religion, but secretly, I want you to go around your religion and
Life
get a
is
man who
it's
loves
complicated
you.
stuff. Life is
is.
complicated. You know, I'm complex.
It-
That's
you
why.
are- but
that's
you are
why-
complex.
That's why I haven't made it in show business. By the way,
Why?
I've been told repeatedly I'm a complex person. I'm not an easy sell. You're not gay enough. You don't fit the mold of gay, and they're right. I'm not an easy sell. They don't know what to do with me because I don't fit into like you're gay, but we can't sell you as a gay person because you're not gay. Like you're not gay. You're gay, but you're not gay.
Well, how
I'm
do they
like,
know how gay you are?
Because I'm not gay. They want the gay one. Like when Ant was on
Oh,
Last
yeah,
Time
he's
Standing.
very gay.
Hi, everyone. Like they want like, hello.
They're not like that,
They're like, yeah.
no.
Well, that's what they want. That's the easy sell. That's like what America understands. Because you have to be accessible in show business. You have to be, it's very hard to sell someone who's complicated.
But see, I
Like
feel
for their sake. Like
Yeah, yeah,
an agent doesn't want to work that hard.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
a bunch of lazy fucking assholes.
But they're wrong because now, if I were the manager, I would have you on my roster because that's what's interesting about you because you are complicated. Now, let me ask you this question. I don't mean to point at you, but why do you think
Point,
you're?
like,
why-
do it. I like it. It's like, okay, now we're gonna get really. Now you're gonna go for the real question.
I want to know
Yeah, do it.
why.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Why do you think you're so funny? Like, why do you think you're funny?
Well,
Here, wait, let me just say what I think about people who are funny.
Right.
But here's my theory,
interesting.
and I don't know if this
Let's
is.
talk about. I never answered. No one ever. That's an interesting.
This is a
question.
theory I have.
I never thought about that.
Whenever I see people who are very funny, like
Mm-hmm.
there are people who are funny who learn how to write jokes and are funny,
Right, they
and
get
they
the
do well.
recipe.
They
Right.
do well, and then there are people when they're just funny, like beyond that kind of funny.
Mm.
And those kind of funny people, I always feel like that there's something that happened, like tragically, maybe, I don't know, with your father died. I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes you funny, but I always feel like there's some tragedy in a way. You know, they go, tragedy plus time is comedy.
I know why I'm funny.
Okay, tell me why you're
Now
funny.
that you're asking, now that you said all that, and now that I thought about it, and I thought on a subconscious level, I know the answer.
Okay.
I grew up with a brother, Joel, who's
Okay.
extremely smart
Okay.
and very tough.
What do you mean tough?
Like he makes Nick DiPaolo look like a little pussy.
Nick DiPaolo frightens me. I
Well,
don't like people
Joel
like that
would
scare the
frighten
shit.
Nick.
Really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
my
like
brother
that.
Joe, he's a rabbi now, but man,
He's a rabbi, your brother?
Now he is, but he's a tough guy. Joel will beat the shit out of anyone, anytime,
Why
anywhere.
are you so
He's got
tough?
rage. I don't know.
He has anger
well,
issues.
Well, my father died when he like a month before the bar mitzvah, and he like had a like then he went into
Oh.
drugs when he was 13, and like he's
Oh.
like a street guy.
Okay.
He's tough,
Okay.
and he's very smart,
Okay.
and I grew up with that. So
Okay.
he beat the shit out of me
Oh.
emotionally and physically, and it really got me into shape, like good shape.
What do
Like
you
I
mean
was
you
like
think it's a good
Rocky
thing?
Balboa at a young age. Really, he turned me into the person I am today. Him and my mother being a psycho.
Your mother's a psycho?
Oh, I love her to death, but she's nuts. The woman is nuts.
Give me a nuts thing.
Oh God, you're talking, and then she's like telling you something. I'm like, and then you're like, what are you talking? And then like she says something to me, and I'm like it was so horrific what she would say to me, and then I'd be like, this happened all the time, and I'd be like, whatever. Let's pretend that the horrific thing she said was, I didn't buy bananas. Let's just say.
She would get upset by something like that.
Yeah, and then, no, meaning it could have been anything.
Oh,
but I'm going to use the example like she said, I didn't buy bananas.
Right.
And then I would say like, well, why didn't you buy the bananas? She goes, I never said that. And I'd be like, you just said that you didn't buy bananas. She goes, I never said that. I never said that I didn't buy bananas. I'm like, you just said that you didn't buy bananas. You just said right in front of me 10 seconds ago that you didn't buy bananas. I never said I didn't buy bananas. And this was my life.
Do you think
it drove me bananas. No pun intended. It drove me crazy. It drove me crazy.
Do you think that she really thought she didn't say bananas, or you think she was just playing it?
I diagnosed her. I'm not a doctor,
Okay,
but she has a borderline personality disorder.
Oh, okay.
She's out of her fucking mind.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's fucking crazy.
Okay.
But I love her. You know,
Yes.
she's a good-hearted person, and she means well. It's just she's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, she had also a lot of trauma. She lost her firstborn to crib death.
Oh,
Her husband was killed and left her with 4 kids.
Oh,
Her
no.
father was killed in the streets of Cairo by the Muslim Brotherhood. Like, she had a lot of death.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
why she
and
likes
she's
the death
like,
jokes,
and she's
maybe.
also a strong woman, a big personality.
She's
an
like
honest
4
person.
feet tall, your mother,
And
right?
now she's shrunk because she has osteoporosis.
Oh, she's teeny
Yeah.
in the videos.
Yeah, she's been shrinking now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So,
I mean, she wasn't that tall. I mean, she was 5'6" at her tallest,
yeah.
which is normal.
I'm 5'5", you know, yeah. Were
Or
you
maybe she was 5'5". Yeah.
So your mother was kooky. Your
Yeah.
brother was kind of
Tough,
mean or
yeah,
tough, not
tough.
mean.
And mean, but not mean. Like, he's not mean. He's just like he's an animal. He's a street guy. I grew up with a
Really?
street guy in the house. Yeah.
Where'd you grow up, in New Jersey or New
no,
York?
in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. Oh, no
Yeah.
wonder. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's that.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
I
Brooklyn. He's Brooklyn. We're all Brooklyn.
I lived there for a short while after my kids were born. That's a tough.
But you
people
grew
are
up in
tough there.
beautiful Brooklyn. I grew up in Midwood.
Oh, I
But
grew-
that's also beautiful Brooklyn, actually.
I was in
It's
Cobble
gorgeous.
Hill, and
Yeah.
that's where there
Midwood
are
is
some
beautiful,
yuppie
actually.
people.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
you
but-
think that's why you're funny?
Yes, because I had to deal with all of that. And then I was gay, and I was living in a world that shunned being gay. And I had to deal with being gay, hiding that, feeling horrible about it, a father that died, a mother that was working and was insane, and a brother that was very, very angry all the time. And I was very alone and very much like,
Oh, okay.
like I was like at my wit's end all the time.
Really? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
And all of that with my disposition probably made me funny.
That's
Probably.
It just gives you a different take on things
Mhm.
because you're not like, like regular people's take on comedy. Just by looking at your Facebook, it's so original. It's coming out of left field. It's like the kookiest shit.
Thanks. I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I didn't like comedy growing up. I was just thinking about that the other day, because I think if I would have loved comedy, I wouldn't be the original. Because I do what I do from my heart. Like when I go up on stage,
Yeah.
I just do what I do. I don't know. I never watched Bill Cosby's work. I've never watched Carlin's
Right.
work
Yeah.
or Richard Pryor.
What about now? Do you ever watch it now or still no?
No. Now
Really?
I just watch my friends and the people that are at the clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love good work.
Yeah.
And I see good work, and I love beautiful work. And now I just, when I'm at the clubs, I watch them, but I never watch anything on TV or any of the greats.
Because I was thinking of that, like when you do comedy, I'm thinking, who did he aspire to when he was a kid? Because it's not like anybody that I can think of. Like all
Erica
the-
Kane. I swear to God, she inspired my comedy. In fact, one of my
love Erica
first
Kane.
jokes is one of my first jokes in stand-up
Yeah.
that people loved
What's the joke?
is from Erica Kane on All My Children.
What is it?
Then it's an old joke. I have to remember it. I haven't done it on
Okay.
stage. Okay, so
All right.
something like this. I was on the subway, and we went through a dark tunnel, and the lights went out, and all of a sudden I heard a gunshot and a scream. So I held onto my wallet. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to be a victim. When the lights came back up, I realized somebody had stolen my brooch. So I told the story to my mother. She's like, brooch? Since when did you start wearing a brooch? I was like, ever since they stole my locket. She's like, brooches, lockets, Danny, when are you going to get married? Enough of these crazy stories. Like, Ma, I can't get married now, not without my brooch. And people love that story. But that story was inspired by Erica Kane.
That is, your mother knows you're gay, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But she doesn't discuss it.
Oh, but you had to tell her, or she figured it out?
No, well, she told me in a horrible conversation that we had when I was like 20.
A horrible conversation?
Yeah, I was like very upset, and she kept pressuring me to get married. And then I was like, I can't. And she's like, why not? And I'm like, I can't tell you. And then she's like, well, I know why. And I'm like, and I was crying. And she's like,
no.
You're gay. You don't know. She never used the word gay. We're not allowed to use the word gay.
What do you use?
You're like that.
Oh, no.
So that's why for the first, I'm going to say 12 years of comedy, I never used the word gay on stage.
And you would say like that?
I would say anything else except for the word gay. I never came out on stage, but I came out on stage. I was out and proud on stage, but I never used the word gay because it didn't reflect my reality. So I wanted to be real about my life, but I had to bring it in an artful way on stage. So I decided to write creatively where I don't have to use the word gay. And Lucian loved that. He's like, you're not gay, you're fey. You won't say the word gay. And then I wrote this. And then Starla wouldn't pass me. We're talking about the comic strip now because we're at the comic strip.
Yeah, comic strip.
And Starla wouldn't pass me. She goes, you're not gay, and you're not saying that you're gay. So that week she goes, but I said,
because she was gay. So
I said, I just killed. So I know you don't like me, but the audience loved me, and they know I'm gay. She goes, how about this? Why don't you do the same exact set you did for Lucian next week? I'm going to pass you to see Lucian, and you're going to see he's not going to pass you because you are a muddy character. You're not clear on stage. And Lucian likes a clear. So I went back, and that week I wrote my Ben Gay joke. And it's
How
about
does your Ben Gay joke
I made a cartoon about it. It's about using Ben Gay, and my mother's like, we don't use that in this house. Your father doesn't use it. Your brother doesn't use it. Why do you want to use it? I'm like, my knee is killing me, and I need to use it because I hurt my knee. I know why you're using it. It said it on the box. It says Ben Gay for deep penetrating pain relief. Not in this house, like that. Like
that's very funny.
And so I wrote that joke just for Lucian.
And what did Lucian say?
He passed me. He said, you're great. He goes, and I love that you don't say that you're gay. You say everything but the fact that you're gay, and yet it's clear that you're gay. You're fey. And we don't have any fake comics in this club.
That is hilarious.
I'm like, I'm fey? And that was the first time I ever heard what fey was.
Fey is a crazy word.
Yeah, he said,
Fey's
you're
a
fey,
word
you're
back
not
from
gay.
The 50s and 60s.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, and I loved the idea that I was fey and not gay.
Oh my God, that's like, hilarious.
Yeah, so that's what I did until I don't know why or how, I just decided to start using the word gay.
And now you use it.
Oh, now I use it.
Because what I thought was so funny, you have one of your videos where you want to find your father, that one, and you never say with the she's
with
like
Sakarusi.
Oh my God!
In my fast film, Sakarusi.
Oh my God!
The gypsy fortune teller.
I love when you speed him up.
Yeah.
She's great in it.
Yeah.
But like everything is, you never say you're gay.
No.
But she takes your hand. She goes, "Ooh, soft like a girl," you know.
Yeah.
And everything.
Queen, one queen, two queen, three queens.
She's
I keep
picking
cards. She's like, pick cards, and I keep picking queens.
And then your daddy comes out.
Yeah.
And he's, dressed in...
He's a real daddy.
He's a real daddy in an S&M gear.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. But yeah, you don't say you're gay. Because I was thinking, do you ever say you're gay in your act? And I've seen you act a few times.
Yeah, now I do. Now, in the past...
I don't remember you saying it in the past.
Well, I quit comedy for like 5 years. When I came back saying gay on stage.
Why'd you quit?
I got really religious.
Oh.
And that's when I was with Jeff Sussman. That was why I left. And then it was like, and then I Last Comic Standing, and they were filming on Friday night, and I couldn't do it on Friday night because I was an observant Jew. And they were like, who the fuck? And then Peter Engel, who's the producer, the executive producer of Last Comic Standing. So I pulled out my, so they loved me, and they wanted me to move forward. But I couldn't move forward because I was Friday night.
You can't do Fridays.
Yeah. So I pulled out my yarmulke, and I'm like, I'm an Orthodox Jew. I can't. Get him off stage! They're like, who put him on stage? Who's this guy? Peter Engel.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and he started yelling at me, and like he was freaked. I'm like, this is reality TV. Why can't you go with it?
It would have been such a great thing to put in there.
Not to him. He wasn't interested in my storyline. He wasn't interested in that. And then
You know what they do? They make up storylines instead of having a real storyline.
Yeah.
That's the problem with reality
Yeah,
TV.
right,
Go with the
right,
real story. It's
right.
way more interesting. Yeah.
So that was that. So then that was over, and then I all that, right? So
Okay. Wow.
and so I quit, and then I really hated the business after that. I just hate. this business is not an easy business.
Do you still can't work a Friday, right? Because you're religious.
No, I'm off the wagon.
Oh, so are you less
I
religious
want
or
to
you're
be.
less
Ideally,
observant,
I'd
or what
like
are you?
to be. I'm not. I am. It's exhausting.
Okay, it's a lot. Yeah,
it's
you gotta
crazy.
think. All right, I
You
get
know,
it. I get it.
Ideally, I would love it, but it's not. Ideally, it's not. Doesn't work for me.
I see.
But sometimes I want. Whatever. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah. It's
We-
nuts. I know that's not a normal answer.
No, it is.
It's like, wow, you're out of your mind. You're like really confused. I'm like, well,
I
yeah.
actually don't think you're confused.
yeah.
I think you're, you have a religious. I remember Stu Trivex. Remember Stu Trivex who worked here? He could never work a Friday. He,
I
a
remember
lot
Stu.
of guys, who
Yeah.
were Orthodox and observant, wouldn't do the Fridays.
Right.
And they would just only work on Saturdays and do the Jewish.
Alan
room.
Gold, right? There are a few.
Oh, yeah,
of them.
that's right.
Right.
He does-
Lodi doesn't work on Friday.
He doesn't work
night.
on Fridays.
I
All
don't
those
think
guys.
So. Right.
Interesting.
Avi Lieberman, right? A few of
All
them.
right. Oh, very interesting. All right. A couple last things. What about medication? You guy on medication?
Absolutely not. No medication. Never
Really?
been.
I
Yeah,
want
thank
medication.
God.
I'm thinking that I need medication. So I always
Yeah.
want to know if
Why?
comics, because I can't calm down.
What do you mean?
I'm hyper and I have a lot of anxiety all the time. And I'm thinking that, I should be on something where I
you
would
have
be
anxiety?
like even instead of like, I can't stop talking, and I talked to my husband later. He's just trying to fall. My fiance is he falls asleep. I'm like, and if I know I have to wake up in the morning, then how am I going to fall asleep? And then if I know, it's just like, I wish I could just be like, like relaxed,
right.
like very zen.
Yes.
I don't have.
Do you meditate in the morning?
No, I don't know how to meditate.
Why don't you do that naturally, or try meditation or yoga in the morning?
Do you do that?
No, but I know for sure it helps.
Judy Gold says that works for her. Now
Yeah.
she's pretty crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but
Try it because it's without medication. You don't want to do. I wouldn't go to medication first. I would try everything non-medication. Try everything
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
What is it? Holistically or
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Holistically.
Holistic. Yeah.
Is that holistic?
Naturally?
To meditate?
I don't know.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to naturally.
It's changing
we're
your.
very, our minds are. We have.
It doesn't stop. Like I can't turn it off.
I'm
That's
saying
the problem.
no. You should know that our minds are very powerful, and we have the power to really change a lot of the things, a lot of our behaviors. We
Yeah.
really are very strong
Okay.
minded. Human beings have the mind, to do a great thing.
Yeah.
You can try meditating. If it doesn't work, if it's really hard for you, then go on medication. But
Yeah,
I would
I know.
try. That's
I know. I just
felt
always
like a little
wonder.
doctor for a
I
minute.
know you are actually a doctor for me.
Try
No,
it.
because I do. I have a lot of OCD and the whole thing, so it's kind of like it's in my head a lot.
Right. What do you touch things?
No, I think I've run over people. You know that one?
Oh, do you
People
get
have-
out and look?
I used to.
Oh.
I would pull over. I would get off the exit.
Right.
I would drive back
That's
on
so
the
that's
highway.
a chemical imbalance. OCD is a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
So then you do need medication because it's a chemical imbalance. It really does balance.
Because
you out,
what I
medication.
do now is I force myself, like, I go over a bump. I'm like, oh my God, it's the dead family. I just ran over. It's like 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, now I have to ignore everything that's telling me, pull this car over, turn around, save the dead people. It's just a pothole. You know what I mean? But so that's my.
And how long does that anxious feeling last with you?
It will last a few minutes. I keep driving and I think, should I just turn around because how am I going to fall asleep tonight? And then I go, just drive through. And usually within a few minutes of driving, if I keep going, I'm fine.
That's really
But
great.
but I've had to train myself.
Right.
Because, so
So
what you're
that's- you're a
saying,
very
I am
strong-
able to
you're
train
able to
myself
do
a
it.
little bit.
So I think with that and meditating in the morning,
All
you
right.
learn to I don't know what you should get a meditating tape or something. You meditate, from your toes all the way up to your ankles, all the way up to your knees, all the way. It's like you sort of just relax all your body and breathe and just concentrate on your breathing and listening to your breathing, and you breathe in and out. It's a really very relaxing way.
I actually, when I was younger in my 20s, used to have a Louise Hay tape. Do you remember Louise Hay? And she would always be like, you are relaxed.
Yeah.
I love you. She would always be like whispering,
yeah.
I love you. And I'm laying there like, oh my God, She loves me. And I would fall asleep because I just want someone to love me.
She
you know?
made you everything you are today.
And she is the reason
You
that
owe
I am loved
everything.
today.
Yes.
I am
yes,
loved
you
today.
owe everything to her.
All right, we were getting the thing. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. All right. I mean,
I don't know if anybody's been asking questions.
Yeah, let's see if there's any questions.
We left our people.
Just a
and-
lot of people saying they love what's happening. Robin Fox, a shout out to Robin Fox. She's loving
Love
this.
I know
Robin Fox.
People are probably. It's the religious thing freaks people out. The religious. I know that. I know the religious thing freaks people out.
Well, not religious people. I think religious people understand how.
Yeah, the non-religious people. A lot of my friends are atheists. I have a lot of atheist friends.
Yeah.
And non-religious friends.
I don't know if I'm atheist. I'm like I don't know
both.
what I'm kind of like. I kind of believe in God. Like I see things that are very beautiful. And I go, oh, that's God. I hold my baby when she's, oh, there's God. I see the river. There's this place I drive over. It's God. You know, that's God. But I don't know what God is. You know, like I don't
a
have
higher power.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what. And I figure it'll all come to me after I'm dead, and there'll be an answer somewhere.
Right.
But I don't have them now.
Right.
But I know there are people, you know, who have they have the answers now.
Well, I don't know if I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think anybody has the answers.
But what's your belief then? Your belief is
I understand what you're saying.
like you believe, so that's your answer is that you believe in these. You have these beliefs.
Right. I hear what you're saying as far as those answers.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's just a matter. It's like almost like a blueprint. It's like following the blueprint. I have instructions. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
have answers.
For your life.
I have instructions for my life.
Okay.
And I follow the instructions, and hopefully everything will work out. Well, I also believe in an afterlife. So
Who do you think you're going to see? Like, will you see your father?
who knows? I don't know.
I don't know if I believe in afterlife.
The soul, where's the soul go? I don't know. I believe that the soul goes somewhere.
Did your father ever come to you in your sleep or any?
No, I don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that.
My father saw the ghost of his mother and told me. So I kind of do. And
I'll believe it when I see it.
I've had dead people come to me in my sleep. And I don't even still know if I believe, but I had two dead people. Mark Rader, who used to work here, he's a comic, came to me after he died, and my grandmother came to me after she died, and my best friend Margaret, who was murdered, came to me after she died.
A lot of people visit you.
I've had 3 people come to me.
Whoa.
And after Margaret died, she was my best friend. She was strangled to death. Beautiful, peaceful, my best friend all through grade school. She came to me in a dream, and I don't know if I ever told this. Did I ever tell this story? Anyway, she's swimming across, I'm swimming across a moat. I climb a castle. I look through the window, and I see my friend Margaret, but I can't see her face. It's her hair, it's her sweater, it's her skirt.
It's her.
It's her. She's playing the piano. It's peaceful, beautiful music. All of a sudden, I just relax and I go, oh my God, Margaret's okay. So then I go, okay, I can leave now. I don't have to see Margaret. I can climb back down the moat. Climb back down the castle, swim across the moat. And I knew she was okay in this weird way. And then I even told her mother. I wrote her mother a letter. I said, Margaret's okay. She came to me in the dream. So a part of me believes in these kind of things, you know? I guess it could just be a dream, you know, and it could just be wishful thinking.
Well, you know
I don't know.
If you're connected, if it connects to you in a way that it moves you in your life and it makes you believe that there's something out there, who's to say that you're wrong?
It made me relax about her.
But who's to say that you're wrong?
Right.
You have a right to believe what you believe, if that's what you believe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like saying, oh, you don't really love your husband. Like, no, I said I love him. Oh, well, prove it. I love him. I know I love him.
Yeah.
How do you prove your love?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you prove something that's inside your heart?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. You can't.
Right.
So, I mean.
So I believe you.
Yes, you can't prove God. You can't prove
I hate
love.
people who fight that.
That say, where's the proof?
Yeah, I really get upset about people who debate with people who are religious or have situations or who are crazy or who are, have mental problems. They argue. There's no such thing as mental problems. Get over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe in chemical imbalance.
Which is crazy.
But some people don't believe in it.
All the things that are important in life, you can't really prove. You can't prove God. You can't prove love. You can't prove art. Is this art? Not art? I don't know. I think it's art. I can't prove that that's art. I don't know.
People seem to like it.
Yeah, I know. Is this high? Is this reading?
Highbrow,
whatever.
Right.
That's why I love that post you have. Who's the? Oh my God.
What
Okay,
post?
I know we're gonna get off first soon. The the painting of Shuli
Oh, right.
What's that guy's
what's
name?
his name?
Shuli?
Solly Michon.
Sully Michon. Oh my God, the painting. He's got the. Oh
So
my God, the
friends-
painting.
my friend Raquel, married to Solly, and then Solly's mom died. He's an only kid. Only child. He's
Right.
like, he's an adult now. He's like, look, I
Right.
can't clean out the house. Please clean it out for me. I clean out the whole house. I see this oil painting of Solly. I'm like, you're 13 years old. There's a beautiful artist that painted you. He's like, throw it out. I'm like, you've got 4 kids. I'm sure one of them are going to want it when they're older and they're married. When you're gone and you're not here anymore and they have grandkids. This is my dad when he was 13 years old. It's a beautiful artist painting. He goes, I don't want it. I said, I'm hanging it up on my wall. When your kids are married and they have their own kids and you're not around anymore, they're going to come to me and they're going to be, can I have that picture of my father? And I'm going to give it to them.
But it's hanging like
Yeah.
in a prominent place in your
yes,
house,
in my
and he's wearing
hallway.
like a maroon
Yeah.
70s jacket
Yeah.
with a little.
With
I think he has a
glasses.
yarmulke. He's got these
Yeah.
crazy glasses and
Yeah.
sort of a unibrow. You're just like, I'm like, oh my God, this is hanging in his house.
Comedy people.
See, who says that's not art? That's what I mean.
Right.
How can you prove it?
Right.
All right, I guess I had other questions, but we got to go.
This was fun.
I loved it. I got to
Yeah.
talk about God and death and
Yeah.
and
And comedy.
gay and
gay.
all the important things in life.
Yeah.
All the gay stuff.
I think we left a lot of people dumbfounded. They're like, "What?" I wonder. I'm wondering.
Go, see what people wrote. See right
Yeah.
back. See what, and then we'll get out of here. How long have we been up?
We're at almost an hour and a half.
Oh shit! I didn't
God,
know
let's
we were.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta go.
We can do this for 2 more hours.
I
We
know,
have to
I had
go.
more.
It's
We
not
gotta
fair.
go.
We probably lost
Adam's
everybody.
like, get me the fuck out of here.
Do you think people are
Adam
watching for an
Hineker
hour
on
and a
our
half?
sound.
I just don't want your phone to run out of juice. It's
Oh,
about
that's
to
all right.
die.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have 17%.
17%. I was going to ask you your worst gig, but we should probably go.
An hour and 27. My worst gig.
Yeah. Do you have
Probably-
bad gigs?
Yeah, I had. I opened for Mark Maron once.
Oh,
and then for
no.
Jeff Ross at Caroline's 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
And I was like doing comedy for 4 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
And I died on stage over.
It
and
happens to
over and
everybody.
over. And they were just the worst gigs ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It was Caroline, the packed houses, weekend.
And also, their people are coming to see them. They don't
Right.
want the
So
opening
I
act.
just died show after show after show, and I never got booked there ever again. And that's okay.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to bomb to get good.
Yeah, but you don't want to bomb at Caroline's on Broadway in New York City on a Friday night, Saturday night. And they put me up when I was 5 years new.
I know.
I was like, why would you do that to me? Why don't you get a pro, an old pro, someone who knows what they're doing?
I know. It's very hard. You got to bomb though. Everybody bombs. Anybody you have to answer? Oh, do you have anything to promote? You have anything you're promoting
Yeah, but I forgot.
this weekend anywhere, or anything coming up like storytelling, comedy shows,
Oh,
the Cellar?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well just go. Do you have a website? They can go to your website. You don't have a website.
No, I'm not. No, I don't have anything. I'm not. I'm having a party at my house on Saturday night. Come on by.
Stencilicious.
Well,
Oh
What
my
about
God.
Stencilicious, man?
Stencilicious, yeah, on Facebook.
Come on.
Stencilicious, they can go to if they want to know
Yeah,
where
if
you're
you want
playing.
me to stencil your walls, go to Stencilicious.
Or they can write to you on
Contact me.
Stencilicious.
Yeah, you can write me on
and say,
Stencilicious. And
where
say,
are you
hey,
performing?
Oh my God, I love that. Oh, can you do this to my wall? And I'll come over and do it to your wall.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
If I weren't having my yard sale this weekend, my daughter's coming home, so otherwise I would come to your party. I want to come to one of your parties.
I know. I do it every June.
I
I have
know.
live music. Last year I had a saxophone player.
Come on.
And this year I'm having a trombone and an accordion.
An accordion.
Yes, and a trombone.
Oh my God.
So it's a small 1-bedroom apartment, full of people, and then live music.
What
It's
kind
amazing.
of polka
You know
music?
what I'm talking about? Yeah, and I have
Polka music with an accordion. Da, da, da,
Well,
da.
any kind of music. I said, and if anybody gets into a political debate,
Oh, no,
I told the
they have to
trombone
go.
player, no, they don't go. The trombone starts to play really loud between them. You just blow that thing until they can't handle it anymore.
It's so
And
ugly
so
to politics.
But he's
now.
in charge of breaking
I
up
love it.
political debate, the trombone guy.
That's how you got to have a good party. You
That's
can't
how you
have
do
the
it.
politics.
I know what
in
I'm
there.
doing.
You do know. All right, listen. We want to thank the comic strip for having us here. Adam Hineker, of course. Usually we're with him in Queens at his place, the Rec Room. But
Thanks, Adam.
we're trying to do some in New York for people who live in New York.
Yeah.
So you don't have to travel all over the
More
place.
local,
A little
yeah,
easier,
for all
right?
of us, yeah.
Thank you so much, Danny Cohen.
Thank
I
you.
love you. I love your
Thank you.
stories.
Yeah, we'll do this
You're a
again.
fascinating
Thanks.
person. I love you. Good night.
love you too. Thank you.
Goodbye.